and welcome back to Raising the Paws. My name is PJ. If you're new, I'm a mom of 6. I've been married for 12 years this year. I want to do a new series on the channel. I know I've been MIA for a little bit, but I'm coming back and I want to be a little bit more consistent. Our lives have been a little hectic lately, but I want to come back to YouTube and be a little bit more intentional with it. I'm going to start a wife marriage series here on the channel so that we can grow our marriages to be stronger than ever before. If this sounds like something you're interested in, please stick around. I hope that you can gain some tips and tricks to help your marriage to grow. I love all things marriage. I love all things motherhood and all things about the home, and that's what I share on this channel. Yes, this channel is more focused and geared toward women. I am here to speak to the women. I felt like it was my calling when I read the Bible in Titus 2, where he says for the women, the older women, to teach the younger women. Now, I want to, in my heart, consider myself still a younger woman. And there's still so much I have still yet to learn. And I love listening to the older women who have been married for a very long time and have had to go through all of the storms that marriages have to go through. Any relationship has to go through some storms. And the hope is that you always come out stronger in the end. And I have found that in my own marriage of, like I said, 12 years, my husband and I have been together for 15 years, but married for 12 years. And we have had some struggles. We have had some trials along the way. There's been a lot of times that I feel like I can't speak to the women. I can't help share anything with younger women because we've been through things. We aren't perfect, but it's all the more for me to be called to be able to help somebody else because I have been there. I have been through things where I wasn't a perfect wife, my husband wasn't a perfect husband, but the storms and the trials that we faced through the Lord's help has allowed us to come out stronger in the end. So with that being said, I have enough confidence that there are things that I have learned along the way that I would love to share so that you may have a marriage that is joyful and exciting and just that relationship that you really want. My tip number 1 is to never stop pursuing your spouse. Doesn't matter how long you've been together, doesn't matter what the relationship looks like. You know, when you're in the dating stages of pursuing one another and really trying and going out of your way, you know, sometimes when you get married, you kind of lose that excitement and lose that pursuit of one another because really you already want to know. But here's the key to a good, long-lasting and strong marriage is to never stop pursuing your spouse. I would love to do a video a day for 7 days on this series. So if you are a young girl or a young lady looking for marriage and looking for a husband, then this is for you because I think the best thing you can be doing as a single person is pursuing the Lord. If you're pursuing the Lord and what He calls you to do, then He's automatically going to put you in line with what He wants for your life. So if the Lord cares about our desires and He knows our desires, that's why we bring them to Him through prayer. So if He sees you as a single woman looking for marriage, looking to become a mother one day, then seek the Lord first and ask Him of these things, and He will line it all up. When we start to force things to happen, it can make our relationships or lives a lot harder. So now, single ladies, you know, that's all I have for you right now. I'm going to jump right into the married women that, you know, you're looking for your marriage to grow stronger. You're looking for your relationship to be stronger. And so my first thing would be to pray for your spouse. Do not underestimate the power of prayer for your spouse. And so there are plenty of times that we can try to nag our husbands to be exactly what we want him to be, but we can see no wrong in our boys. You know, if you're a mother and you have boys, you see no wrong in them. But listen, ladies, those little boys are going to grow up to be men and grow up to possibly be husbands. And that's when the women will start to complain about the boy or man that's before them. I see my husband as someone's son, and I want to treat him with the respect that I would want my boys to be treated with. And backstory, I have 4 boys. If you are new, I have 4 boys, and there's nothing like being a mother. But I know that one day these boys are going to grow up, and Lord willing, they're going to find women. And I'm trying to train them up so that they may have good, strong marriages. In this first video, I want to talk to you about the importance of greeting your spouse with a smile and a cheerful attitude. I know what it's like if you're a stay-at-home mom to be home all day with the kids and feel like, I wish I could just go to work and see a job through. And, as a mom, if you have multiples and you have a lot of little ones at home, you're going through the trenches. There may be messy days, there may be messy moods, there may be just mess in general, and you're struggling with getting your emotions right, getting, the emotions around you right. And so I know how it goes. And sometimes we can just be looking for our husbands to pull in and to feel like, okay, it's your turn. I'm clocking out. I'm done. And we can kind of have a disgruntled look on our face when our husbands walk through the door. And there may be times when he's like, wow, what happened today? I can see it on your face. And I went through a little phase of that because I felt like the victim in motherhood. I felt like I was just barely holding my head above water, and I was not doing it well. And I forgot about the importance of knowing that my husband is working and providing, making sacrifices for me to be home and to be with my children. And I know that he would love to spend time with his children as well. And so I want to raise them up and me not be the victim. So getting myself together to greet my husband at the door. Do not underestimate the power of this, because when he sees you every day and he walks through the door and you're cheerful and you're happy and you're put together, it is a relief to him that he's not coming home to chaos and he's not coming home to crazy, but he's coming home to you, and he sees you smiling, and it's kind of a relief to him that, I'm home. And you want your husband to be excited to come home, to be excited to see you get up from your spot, go greet him, smile at him. And it has become a thing with my family that when we know he's on his way home or we see him pulling in, it's Daddy's home, and we all put a smile on and we all go to the door. And sometimes we go outside and it's an ambush of hugs and kisses and cheers and squeals, and he loves it. And so if there's any time that I'm busy and I don't get to do that, I can see the disappointment. And so he understands, and it's great. But ladies, that's your takeaway from today's video. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but please just try every day this week, if you're home and able, to greet your husband at the door when he comes in from work, and just see what a difference it makes. And he's home before you, do the same. The moment you walk through the door, fix yourself to be ready to greet him with a smile. Appreciate having your spouse there. Appreciation goes way farther than expectation. So if we expect things from our spouse, then we can end up feeling let down or disappointed when they don't go the way that we want. But appreciating every time something is done keeps us in a cheerful and happy mindset. So I hope this tip helps you today, and don't forget to come back tomorrow for tip number 2 in growing a stronger and healthier marriage. So like I always recommend, praying for your marriage first and foremost, and remembering that this is a covenant between you and your spouse before the Lord, and it's very sacred, and it's something that, I think all marriages should be thriving and doing great, and that's what God wants for us as well. And sometimes we have to get rid of ourselves and make some sacrifices as well, so that you can have a bond and a marriage like no other. So thank you for stopping by the channel today, and I will see you again tomorrow for Tip number 2 in growing a healthy and strong marriage.
That I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen.